Hi, in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I make my own cuticle oil. And it's something so simple, and I find that if you're somebody who also has a tendency to have brittle or peeling nails, this is the one thing that I've noticed makes the biggest difference for me. And I'm not vitamin deficient, I eat pretty healthy, I've tried biotin, I've tried the whole thing, and again, this is the one thing, and I'm lucky enough to have spoken or work in the industry. I work in the beauty industry and spoke to a lot of some of the best nail manicurists, and I always ask them their opinion, and they all say the same thing: you have to make sure your nails are hydrated. So again, before we get started, I know you can go out and buy a cuticle oil, but I've noticed that a lot of them that I have purchased, and I've tried different ones from less expensive to the very expensive ones, and some of them I noticed had silicones in them, and I didn't want that, and I noticed that when I made my own that I actually really liked it. So I'm gonna show you now how I make my own cuticle oil and what you're gonna need. So the oils I like to use are castor oil, rosehip seed oil, jojoba oil, marula, almond oil, and then I also add a little bit essential oils. This time I sometimes mix it, but I'm gonna keep it simple and just use lavender today. You also are going to need a little 15 milliliter like a empty bottle with a dropper. And to clean the bottle, if you order new, don't put any water. This is really important because you don't want any bacteria growing in it. So if you want to just clean it because you just bought it, add a little bit alcohol and let it dry out. And the other thing you're going to need is a little funnel. Okay, so this is what we're going to use. To make this easier, I will be using a scale and I will be measuring everything in grams. Okay, so you are going to place your container onto the scale. Then press the tare button. Okay, we're going to use the funnel. And then we are going to add tare again because you want to start from 0. We're going to start with the jojoba oil, and I'm going to apply 7 grams. Okay, we are at 4.5, 7. Okay. I'm gonna go get a tissue, be right back. So as you can see, almost half of it is jojoba oil. That is actually my favorite, and I'm making this the base oil for this mixture. Okay, so next thing, you press the tare button, and we are going to add 2.5 grams of the marula oil. So I actually just finished my marula oil, so that worked out perfectly. Now don't forget, every time you press tare, now we're adding 1.7 grams of almond oil. This one could get a little messy. Let's see. Oh, actually it's not that bad. Okay, 1.8, a little more. Okay, so we added almond oil. Set this aside. Tare again, and then we'll do, next one is rosehip seed oil. You don't want to do too much of this one. There's certain oils that are more likely to go rancid. if you added vitamin E to this mixture, it actually can enhance the shelf life to a few more months. But I don't have vitamin E and I usually use it up by then. But I find that argan oil, I always find that this one for some reason always goes rancid the fastest, so I don't even add it anymore. Okay, next thing, we're doing 0.8 grams of rosehip oil. So we have to be careful because that's not very much. Okay. Now we're going to press stir again, and we are going to add 1.85 of the castor oil. This one is the messiest of them all, but it is my favorite. I love castor oil. So it's a messy one. So 1.85. Even the dropper is so goopy. Okay. You could add less of castor oil if you wanted it to be more lightweight, but I like that castor oil makes it feel almost a bit like a balm. So for me, it's way more nourishing, so I will definitely add a little bit more castor oil. Okay, so we're at 1.5, just a little bit more. And I will write down the exact ratio of everything in the description. And we'll also link the bottle I purchased, the dropper bottle. The funnel I had, it came with something. I don't really know with what. But I'm just going to do here, 1.8. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so we have the castor oil, which was the last oil. And now I'm going to add a little bit essential oil. So like I said, I love to mix them. But for simplicity, right now, I'm just going to add 3 drops of lavender essential oil. If you find that it's too faint, you can add another drop or 2. But with the essential oil, you don't want to overdo it either because some of them can be a little bit irritating. So I'm just going to do 3 drops of the lavender essential oil. Okay. And that's it. Let's see. Gonna close it and give it a good shake, especially with the castor oil because it's on the thicker side, so you just want to make sure that everything blends evenly. And then I like to create like a little sticker. I have a little label maker, and I like to write down what it is. I mean, I already know what it is, but just in case. And also I sometimes put the date on the bottom. But like I said, I've never not ever finished it. So let's give it a try. Okay, just a few drops. Yeah, you see this one is thick enough, just the way I like it. It could use a little bit more olive oil. It could use a little bit more essential oils. I might see if I have some orange. But the texture is perfect. It has the right slip. You could also skip the castor oil if you want it to be super lightweight. But I find that it's going to be way more nourishing if you... there you go. if you add the castor oil, in my opinion. I'm gonna go and grab the other essential oils, and yeah. So I just wanted to jump in one more time and say that really the key with anything like that is the consistent use, right? So if you're using it every few days, you might not see the results you want, but I again find that it really helps to have this little travel size thing that I keep in my purse. And if you can get into kind of build it into your habit to use it on a daily basis, I am pretty sure that you will notice a significant difference. And yeah, I hope you end up making it. Let me know how you like it. And I hope to see you for the next video. Thanks. Bye.